The Galactic Tribunal chamber fell silent as the verdict was read. Captain Sarah Chen stood in the defendant's circle, her hands bound with photonic restraints that hummed softly in the sterile air. Around her, representatives from 47 species observed from their elevated platforms, their various appendages, tentacles, and sensory organs focused intently on the proceedings. Captain Sarah Chen of the species Homo sapiens, High Arbiter Zelthari announced, his crystalline voice reverberating through the chamber. You have been found guilty of violating the preservation protocol by entering the quarantine zone of Kepler 442b. The sentence, as prescribed by galactic law, is death by exposure on a Class 2 Deathworld. A ripple of what might have been approval, or perhaps pity, moved through the assembled observers. The preservation protocol was sacred, designed to protect developing civilizations from contamination. Chen had broken it, and now she would pay the price that had never failed to execute a criminal in the tribunal's 10,000-year history. Do you have any final words before sentencing is carried out? Zelthari asked, a formality extended to all condemned. Chen lifted her head, her dark eyes meeting the High Arbiter's compound gaze. I understand the law and I accept responsibility for breaking it. But I would ask one question. Which Deathworld will you choose? The question seemed to confuse the Arbiter. In all his centuries of service, no condemned had ever asked such a thing. Does it matter? You will be dead within hours regardless. Humor me, Chen said with a slight smile. Zelthari's carapace shifted in what passed for a shrug among his kind. Very well. We have selected Terra, the homeworld of the species recently discovered in the Sol system. Our surveys classify it as Class 20, maximum lethality, atmospheric oxygen levels capable of causing combustion, massive predators, extreme temperature variations, violent weather systems, tectonic instability, and indigenous microorganisms that consume organic matter within days. You will be placed in a temperate zone and left to the planet's mercy. The smile on Chen's face widened. Several observers leaned forward, confused by this reaction. Terra, she repeated. You're sentencing me to death on Earth. Your species has a designation for this world? Zelthari asked, his interest piqued despite himself. High Arbiter, Chen said, her voice steady and clear. Terra is my homeworld. Earth is where humanity evolved. It's where I was born. The chamber erupted into chaos. Clicks, whistles, electromagnetic pulses, and vocalizations of disbelief filled the air. The High Arbiter called for order, his voice cutting through the din. Impossible, he declared. No sentient species could evolve on a Class 2 Deathworld. Our xenobiological models are apparently incomplete, Chen interrupted. Every human in existence comes from Terra. We didn't just survive it, we conquered it. Those massive predators you mentioned? We domesticated some, hunted others to extinction. The atmospheric oxygen you find so dangerous. We breathe it, we need it. Those extreme temperatures? We've built civilizations from the Arctic to the Sahara. The violent weather? We learned to predict it, shelter from it, even harness its power. Ambassador Quixotal of the Gentle Collective spoke up, his 3-meter frame trembling. But the survey data, the simulation models predicted a 99.97% mortality rate within the first solar rotation for any known species. For any known species except one, Chen said quietly. You see, when your entire evolutionary history is written in survival, when every ancestor you have fought tooth and nail just to see another sunrise, you develop certain advantages. She held up her bound hands. This gravity you've calibrated to a comfortable 0.4 standard? On Earth, it's 1.0. We evolved carrying more than twice the weight you're used to. She flexed against the photonic restraints. These bones aren't just dense, they're reinforced. Our muscles are built for a harsher world. Chen turned slowly, addressing the entire assembly. You want to know what really makes humans dangerous? It's not our strength or our adaptability. It's that we're wired to never give up. Terra tried to kill us with ice ages. We invented fire and shelter. It sent predators, we made weapons. It gave us diseases, we developed medicine. Every single challenge that world threw at us we met with innovation, stubbornness, and an absolute refusal to die quietly. This changes nothing, Zelthari said, though his voice had lost some of its certainty. The law is clear. You broke the preservation protocol. I did, Chen agreed, and I'm prepared to face the consequences. Send me to Earth. Drop me anywhere you like. The Amazon rainforest, the Gobi Desert, the Siberian tundra. I'll survive, not because I'm special, but because that's what humans do. We survive. The High Arbiter consulted with his fellow judges in hushed tones. Finally, he spoke. Very well. The sentence stands. You will be transported to Terra and released. If you survive 30 solar rotations, you will be retrieved and your sentence commuted to imprisonment. Make it 90 days, Chen said, and I'll give you something better than my death. I'll give you a demonstration of what humanity is capable of. Maybe then you'll understand why you should be welcoming us to the galactic community, not fearing us. 3 months later, the retrieval team arrived at the designated coordinates in the Congo Basin. They found Captain Chen waiting for them, sitting beside a small shelter she'd constructed from local materials. She'd built a water filtration system, established a sustainable food supply, and even treated a minor infection using plant-based medicine. But more remarkably, she wasn't alone. 3 orphaned gorillas sat near her, comfortable in her presence, predators of a Deathworld at peace with the human who'd fed and protected them. As Chen stood to meet her retrievers, she looked back at the world that had tried and failed to kill her ancestors for millions of years. The world that had forged humanity into something the galaxy had never seen before. Welcome to Earth, she said to the terrified retrieval team. Now you understand. We're not from a Deathworld. We are the Deathworld. The footage of Chen's survival broadcast to every corner of the galaxy changed everything. Humanity's application to join the galactic community was fast-tracked within the year. After all, if they could survive Terra, what couldn't they do?